Now, as of right now, throughout my long-term dividend growth portfolio, I'm currently generating, whatever you want to call it, around $6,900 every single month on average. Some months are going to be larger, some months are going to be smaller, of course, because certain stocks and ETFs in this portfolio pay me out quarterly. But because at this point, my portfolio is currently generating almost $7,000 on a monthly basis, with all the dividends that are incoming throughout my portfolios, along with some outside deposits I'm still making, at least for now, I'm currently purchasing anywhere from around $6,000, $7,000 to $10,000 worth of dividend paying stocks and ETFs on a monthly basis. Now in this video, I thought it'd be kind of fun to go through and share with you guys basically every single stock and ETF that I purchased in just one of my dividend portfolios throughout most of the summer. I'm going to go over every single buy, even though some of them are going to be repetitive, just to show you what I've been doing over the past several months and to show you some of the different names that I've been stacking up in my portfolio significantly over the summer. So if you want to see the behind the scenes of a 7-figure dividend portfolio that a 31-year-old is currently running and see all the stock and ETF purchases, make sure to stick around, drop a like down below, and let's get right into it. Real quick, for those that haven't already, make sure to go to the first link in my description and grab my new dividend investing ebook, where I share exactly how I went from $0 invested to now earning over $6,000 on a monthly basis and over $1 million invested in the markets. Along with the ebook, you're also going to receive my custom dividend tracker, where you can track your dividend progress on an ongoing basis and reach your dividend investing goals. So make sure to grab yourself a copy of my dividend investing ebook and the new dividend tracker today. It's the first link in my description. So to jump right into it, guys, this is inside of one of my portfolios, and like I said, I do have multiple different portfolios on different brokerages, but this is one of my main portfolios. This is one of the larger ones. So just to give you an idea of some of my purchases of different dividend paying stocks and ETFs over the past few months, like I said, I thought it'd be kind of fun to go through and honestly kind of interesting for me to even go back and see what I've been buying over these past several months. Now, I guess it's also important to note that before we go through these buys, my strategy as a 31-year-old dividend growth investor, I personally want to buy into different stocks and ETFs that are going to grow over time, but also I really like an emphasis on income because at some point in the future, I'm actually looking to use some of, if not all of my dividends to pay for things like bills, vacations, help family and friends out, etc. So that gives you sort of more of an oversight on what I'm buying that might make more sense. You might be asking yourselves, why the heck is he buying X, Y, or Z? Well, that's probably why. So first in July, I purchased 30 more shares of the Devo Amplify CWP Enhanced Dividend ETF. This was almost a $1,200 purchase I made. I do buy Devo quite frequently. I also sell some covered calls on Devo. So Devo is always interchanging in and out of my portfolios. I think as of right now across my portfolios, I probably own almost 300 shares. I also grabbed 100 more shares of Enterprise Product Partners. This is almost a $3,000 purchase. I grabbed a new position. I think if I'm remembering right, this is the first few shares I bought of FDVV, the Fidelity High Dividend ETF. One of my new favorites, honestly. If you're a dividend growth investor, you have got to look into this one. I looked into it. I really like what I see. So I have been grabbing a few shares of FDVV. So again, not every single position I buy is going to be growth focused or income focused. Some of them are going to have a little bit of both. I also grabbed some FEPI shares. This was back in July also. I probably should have waited because FEPI did drop since then, but I grabbed a few shares of FEPI. I grabbed iSpy, the ProShares S&P 500 High Income ETF. I looked into this one a little bit. I think I might have made a video on it. I'm not really sure if I like it yet or not. I think I just grabbed 1 or 2 shares from my portfolio as of right now. Now, this is something that I wonder if you guys also do. If you find a new position, if you find a new stock or ETF that sort of interests you, but you haven't really looked into it yet, you might grab just a share, just as sort of a placeholder, just to see it in your portfolio, sort of watch it, see how it trades, and again, until you learn a little bit more about it. That's honestly what I do. It's kind of more or less like a bookmark in your portfolio. Next, I grabbed some more JEPQ. I have been adding a little bit more JEPQ to my portfolio as it's been selling off a little bit. It's sort of back up now, but grabbed 3 shares of JEPQ, grabbed another share of JEPQ here, 10 more shares here as you can see, some more JEPQ, then some Main Street Capital, which I'm super excited to be building up. I think I have added maybe 20 more shares over the last month or so, which is not a huge amount of Main Street Capital, but this is a position I've been talking about for a while now. I'm super bummed out that I waited so long to buy Main Street Capital because again, it's pretty pricey right now, but I still am adding Main Street Capital. I'm paying a pretty penny to do so. I don't really care if it trades sideways or down from here. I'm going to keep stacking Main Street Capital, hopefully until I have around 500 to 1,000 shares later down the line. I then bought a few odd shares of Realty Income, as you can see right here, and then here we go with the SCHD. So if you guys are new to my channel, welcome of course, but I am a huge fan of the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF. I've been buying SCHD basically every single day now for the last several years, and I pretty much never shut up about it. Now this is of course because I personally have a bigger goal of reaching 1,000 shares of SCHD throughout all my portfolios. As of right now, in case you're curious, I think I have around 650, so if I buy 1 or 2 shares throughout the rest of this year, we should get pretty close to 1,000, so that's going to make it a lot more sense on why you see I buy SCHD SCHD basically every single day. We then bought some more SPYI, another one of the positions I've been adding a lot to in my portfolio as of recently. As far as covered call style ETFs go, it probably is still a little bit too early to know, but so far SPYI has held up pretty good. The income potential for this one seems to be super high, and because like I said, I am trying to build up my portfolio's dividend income on a monthly basis, SPYI has been a great position in my portfolio, and that's because basically every single share that I purchase for $49 or $50 per share, I'm pretty much getting a 50-cent distribution that next month, which adds up pretty quickly. Now, as you scroll down in this portfolio specifically, I buy a lot of SPYI. You can see 100 shares right here for $4,600. I did end up buying a little bit more SPYI when it dipped a little bit, so that's nice, of course. Tons more SPYI month over month. You can see this portfolio, I own a lot of it. Another one that I've been buying a lot in this portfolio, this is still a smaller position, relatively speaking, and I'm honestly not really searching on this one, but SVOL, I think across all my portfolios, I have a few hundred shares. So again, a smaller position, relatively speaking, but 20 shares of SVOL here, maybe a few shares here and there. Again, all together, just a few hundred shares of it, but this one pays like a 30-cent distribution every single month, so that adds up significantly, especially when it's only around $20 per share. Now again, this one has decayed in price a little bit. I do want to make sure this one isn't going to keep decaying, but SVOL has been a decent position, at least so far. Now, as you see, for the most part, that's pretty much what I've been adding to my portfolio. Tons of SVOL, SPYI, we have some Main Street Capital, we got SCHD, we got some Realty Income, some jepi, etc. And overall these days, at least speaking for the majority of time, I purchase different ETFs at this point. I'm not really purchasing many single shares of companies unless I really like them, like Realty Income or Main Street Capital. I personally really like ETFs because I'm pretty busy. I don't want to go ahead and look into every single position that SCHD holds on to and buy them all separately. I'd rather just buy the ETF, ride it sideways, ride it up, ride it down, and honestly sort of let it do its thing. Now also I wanted to know, just because I'm buying these shares as of right now, and just because this has been a lot of the purchases I've made over the last summer so far, doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to keep buying these things forever. Like SCHD, for example, once I reach 1,000 shares of this one, I'll probably move over that cash balance and start buying something like DGRW, maybe DGRO, a different dividend growth style ETF, just to sort of diversify even more and have a little bit different exposure. And that's even though there's a lot of crossover with a lot of the popular dividend growth style ETFs. But as of right now, like I sort of shared with you guys, I do have an emphasis on raising my total monthly dividend income very substantially over the next few years. Like I said, I'm currently 31 years old. I'm trying to get this up to $10,000 or around that range by the time I'm 33 years old. We'll see if we can do it if we keep reinvesting heavily over the next few years. Now, the idea is that over time, I'll reinvest dividends, which is what I've been doing as of currently, and buy more shares of different stocks or ETFs. So the dividend amount will continue to go up without me actually having to make any other outside deposits. But on top of that, I'm hopeful that a lot of the positions inside this portfolio, things like SCHD, things like Apple, things like even Verizon, are going to continue to pay more and more in dividends over time. So that also will help me really compound this portfolio. So now that we went through basically every single stock and ETF that I've been purchasing over the last summer, well over probably $20,000 worth of buys in the last few months alone, I lastly, most importantly, want to hear from you guys down below in the comments. What is a single stock or ETF that you purchase consistently day in, day out? You saw some of mine, so let me see some of yours in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like on it and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.